1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. Today is the day, isn't it? Well, it's just another day. It's another day in court for Sarah Boone, talking to that judge who's getting really sick. Do you remember at the beginning when we first met this judge and we were all saying, oh, it's really good how calm he is, how unaffected he is. He's just going through the legal process. He's protecting her constitutional rights in a really calm, mannerly fashion. Well, things change, don't they? Things change real quick when you're dealing with a Boone. Yes, I don't know what's going to happen here. I've got a feeling that before this trial begins, we might, we've already seen, 8 attorneys withdraw from the case. I think we might see the judge himself petition to withdraw. But who's he going to petition? His own court? I think one day he's just going to pound his fists on the bench up there, stand up and say, I can't take it anymore. I'm quitting. If anyone needs me, I'll be in chambers, packing up all my shit. Then he goes into chambers and just closes the door, and a few minutes later we just hear a single gunshot and a thud on a mahogany desk. It could happen. It's just under 2 months away, guys. We don't know how stable this judge's mind was when he came into these proceedings, right? Boone could tip him over the edge. I think she's going to tip us all over the edge, So we hope you've all got your citronella candles at the ready, guys. Burning yellow, burning bright, keeping those mosquitoes away. I guess it's all a bit early for you guys over there, but it is prime mosquito conditions over here in the evening in Portugal with 0 wind, high humidity. God, thank God I'm not next to a lake. Stagnant water, that's what they love, isn't it? That's where they mate, in the lake. Okay. Welcome everybody in the chat. How we doing? Did you all rush over here from Fantasy Fiction's fantastic show? Well, I'm just honored. So honored. Yes. What are we doing? Sharing this screen, right? And what's his name? Chicken Cacciatore. He's lively as ever. God, this guy. I think it's more exciting to actually watch paint dry, peel, fall off the wall, repaint the wall, and watch it all dry again. Man, this guy, it takes him a long time to get out a sentence. Okay, Judge Kraynick. Now, this is a real short video, guys. And good news, guys. I know we're a little bit more early than our usual time slot, but you know what? We're feeling charitable. We're feeling benevolent. This is one of 2 shows today. Top that fancy. Okay, yeah, we will be back. We will be back on our normal time slot at around 6:30 or 7 o'clock Eastern this evening with, what are we looking at tonight? Well, we're going back to the Adelson case, reviewing some of the old testimonies. Who are we looking at? There's a bit of a theme tonight. We're going to be looking at the former employees that testified in the Sigfredo Katie trial and Katie McBanawa's retrial, the former employees of the Adelson Institute, guys, okay? Those weird people that worked with those other weird people in that weird place. Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at today. This evening, though. For right now, we're going to be looking at Sarah Boone. Then I'm going to have a little bit of Metrix supper, and we'll be back at our normal time slot, okay? So don't panic. Okay, let's go. Roll tape, please.
Madam Clerk.
Dave Ketcher on behalf of the state. William J. for the state.
Ma'am, good morning. Can you raise your right hand? Madam Clerk will swear you in.
We swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be
Ma'am, good morning, rather. Could you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
Sarah Boone, 10/10/77.
Okay, we had a hearing this Monday on August the 5th. The court had entered a scheduling order and notice of hearings. Ma'am, that was sent to you by way of mail. Did you receive that?
I did yesterday.
Okay, all right. I know that you had brought up concerns regarding mailing, and I just wanted to go through the historics with regard to the mailing. As you may recall, back on June 28th, we had a hearing where I granted Ms. Cushman's motion to withdraw and addressed your forfeiture, alternatively a waiver to counsel.
Do you not think it's a bit of a hindrance to sit there representing yourself, fucking about with these documents, and you're handcuffed? And not only are you handcuffed, but your wrists are handcuffed to your waist. I mean, why don't we just hang her upside down from the ceiling by her ankles and say, yeah, okay, there's your documents. Sort them out. Take notes upside down, hanging from the ceiling. Not that I'm saying she deserves anything, not that I feel sorry for her. I just think, there's enough security around here that we could sort out a way for her to have her hands free. That'd piss me off, man.
You were hand-delivered a copy of that order. On May 25, we had a hearing and an order was entered and a notice of hearing was set. That order was hand-delivered to you. Thereafter, there was an order setting hearing that was entered on July 29. That letter, or that order rather, was sent to you at P.O. Box 9109, Seminole, Florida 33775, which is the Orange County Corrections Department mail address for general inmate mail. That was remedied the next day. On July 30th, a certificate of service was entered to the appropriate address, identifying you, your inmate number, FDC-B4, P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida 32802, which is the address that you had placed in your motion and your notice. That certificate of service included the notice of filing of the memorandum from the Orange County Corrections Department, Security Operations, and there was also a certificate of service providing you the Justice Administrative Commission's response to motions seeking due process costs.
So as far as I see it, Judge Kraynick has been brought in here and he's been told, listen, Judge Kraynick, this Sarah Boone character is going to try and get out of this any way she can on a technicality, on a mistrial, on not being able to prepare, on unconstitutional withholding of rights, blah, 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 blah. It's your job, Judge Kraynick, to make sure that doesn't happen. So any opportunity he gets, she was only in a day or two ago, right? Any opportunity he gets, he calls her in and says, listen, we're going to go through your mail stuff to make sure everything's as it should be and everything's constitutional and everything's good. Okay. But it's amazing where Sarah Boone finds problems. Just watch her spit the mouth out right now.
The next mailings was a notice of mailing of documents by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, which was the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen, which were taken on May 7th, 2024. That was e-filed on August the 1st, 2024.
Christina, the normal time slot is somewhere between 6:30 and 7 o'clock Eastern evenings, PM.
For an email to you, mailed to you with address to you, your inmate number, FDC Dorm B, P.O. Box 4970. I apologize. P.O. Box 4970, Orlando, Florida. Did you receive those deposition transcripts?
I did.
Okay. Then the notice of delivery, would you recall when you received those transcripts?
Everything that you are stating was received on Monday.
The 5th.
Correct.
Okay. The next was a notice of delivery of digital copies of documents that was e-filed by your former attorney, Patricia Cashman, on August 1, 2024, which provided the transcripts of depositions of detectives Chelsea Copsell and Scott Lowen taken May 7, 2024 to Billy Lane on August 1st. And that was mailed to you at the same address. We've been addressing P.O. Box 4970 on August 1. Did you receive that notice?
I'm sorry, what was that for?
Notice of delivery of digital copies of documents. which reflected the deposition transcripts of the detectives I just identified to Mr. Lane.
To be honest with you, I don't know. It was a lump sum of a giant amount of paperwork, and I haven't gone through it yet.
Okay.
They had me sign about 4 or 5 different documents, so
Okay.
for receipt.
And the last was a
What you been doing, Sarah? Have you been busy? Busy what? Come on. It's 4 or 5 documents, Sarah. You can do it.
certificate of service that was
Hello, Debbie. So glad to have you here for a live, Debbie Austin. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
just e-filed on May the 5th, which was provided to you as well on August the 5th. It was provided to you on August the 5th at the P.O. box we've identified by way of U.S. mail, which was a copy of the order authorizing the defense to incur costs for private investigator and the scheduling order and notice of hearings entered August 5, 2024. Have you received both of those?
I did, and I had questions on that, please, whenever.
In just a moment, ma'am. So I know that there was a concern with regard to mailing and things purportedly not being timely provided to you. There was only one order, the order of July 29th, which was
Udi says, is it just me or does Sarah Boone's face not match her voice? Listen, Udi, if you took Sarah Boone's face alone and tried to find a voice to fit it, there wouldn't be one. If you took her voice alone and tried to find a face to fit it, I don't know. Has anyone seen The Brave Little Toaster, the cartoon? She kind of reminds me of the lamp if we're just looking at the voice, listening to the voice.
sent to the general mail delivery, and that was remedied the exact next day on July 30th. So that clerical error as to the wrong address was remedied one day after the original order was sent out on July the 29th. I just wanted to put that on the record and again, identify for you, ma'am, that nothing's being withheld from you and everything is being timely served to you as required. Now, you had questions about the JAC order. I will revisit those in just a moment. I've got a sticky with regard to that.
And I was going to say, please, if I may, about the address. There were 2 or 3 different documents that were uploaded to the tablet. So those 3 documents, without knowing specifically which ones they are, those were also sent to P.O. Box 9101.
This is a tactic of hers that she does quite well, is just to talk at about 2.5 speed, you know, just really quick, just fill up the gaps. Judge Kraynick gives you a gap, you fit stuff in, just fit it all in. So Judge Kraynick is now thinking, I have a gun in my chambers, in the drawer of my mahogany roll-top desk. Yes, maybe I should put it in my mouth and pull the trigger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You were talking about supposedly just one document that was mailed to the incorrect address. It was more than one.
That's not correct. Court scoured the court file this morning, ma'am. The court has not filed anything other than what I've identified since that June 28th order, where you were representing yourself pro se. So that is incorrect.
Is it something that I need to record and bring back, or is it that big of a deal?
I can't answer that question. That may call for me providing you legal advice.
Okay.
But I can't tell you that other than the July 29th order, which was remedied the next day, everything has been sent to the appropriate legal.
Hey, Ride-In Shotgun, how you doing? This is your first live since becoming a wonderful True Crime Metrix member with a membership and everything. Look at that. Look at that way that your name stands out with your special membership badge there. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Doesn't everyone wish that they had that too?
Mail
Good news, guys. You can get it on our channel page by hitting the join button and becoming a member today.
address as provided by the Orange County Jail. We've had this hearing today to address a couple of things based on the scheduling order and notice of hearing that was entered August 5. The first was the digital evidence issue. I've been advised, I think through Mr. Lane, who I do see in the courtroom. Mr. Lane, if you could come on up, sir, so Madam Clerk can swear you in.
Mr. Lang is also getting sick of this every 5 minutes. He's just got back from out of state at his son's wedding, and he's been into court 5 times in 1 week. Yeah, swear me in. Do you swear to tell the whole truth, the complete truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Again.
Please swear own firm, the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
All right, Mr. Lane, good morning, sir. Can you state your full name and your affiliation with Prison Break Investigations, please?
Billy Lane, Chief Investigator, owner of Prison Break.
And he always stands in that at ease posture, doesn't he? His feet shoulder width apart. Always stands like that. Show me one occasion where he's not standing like that. Maybe Mr. Chicken Cacciatore could take a leaf out of this guy's book and learn how to stand up without swaying under the weight of his long flashes raincoat.
Okay. I understand part of the order from Monday was regarding the state's digital evidence. I understand that may have been provided on a USB drive to you, Mr. Lane. I want to hear from the state with regard to that first. So either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, please, Mr. J. Please, Mr. J. Let it be Mr. J.
We have tendered to Mr. Lane
Oh, it's Mr. Chicken Cacciatore.
a copy of our the exhibit list with our expected items of evidence that we received, along with expected witnesses that, to be called at the trial.
Just so you know, guys, this is fast talking for him. This is good posture and fast talking for Mr. Chicken Cacciatore. He must have been to the methadone clinic and got topped up or something. He's got back on the program. Good job, man. Good job. Put the crack pipe back down, man.
A copy of that was provided on the USB with the exhibits, the witness list, also proposed jury instructions and a stipulation as to victim ID for her review as well.
Okay. And when was that provided to Mr. Lane?
Just now.
Okay. All right. The witness and exhibit list that is included on that USB, do you have hard copies?
I do, Your Honor. I would like to file them in open court.
That was going to be my next question.
And
Okay.
I have a copy for defense
Okay, very good.
as well.
Deputy Bruce, if we can get the copy of the witness list and the exhibits and take that from Mr. Lane and provide it to Ms. Boone.
In Your Honor, the state's position is that given that our exhibit list contains within it a witness list as well, we would ask that that document be sealed the way the witness lists are routinely sealed. A copy of that request to seal is there with the notice of the witness list on the initial page before our notice of the exhibit list.
What I have in front of me is the notice of provision of witness list and then the notice of expected evidence and witnesses in trial. I don't have an order or.
It wouldn't be an order, it would just be that first document you read, reference to notice of provisional witness list.
Got it. Okay, thank you. All right. Anything else with regard to the expected evidence and digital evidence?
No.
Okay, so just for my own understanding, there are 9 files.
Man, the judge is really basking in this, isn't he? He's taking his time just to speak to someone who sort of knows what they're doing. I mean, at least compared to Sarah. I actually think sometimes Mr. Chicken Cacciatore is more incoherent than Sarah. He was last time when he was wearing that raincoat.
On the USB drive that are digital in nature. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wearing a raincoat in court with his hands in his pockets while the judge is talking to him. It just was not a good look. It was like, what is this, man? You don't look prepared. It looks like you're guessing.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And those are all on the USB drive that is going to be provided to Ms. Boone.
Yes, they're broken down by folders.
And the folders, are the names of the folders, do they match the names in the digital evidence list?
They roughly match. I believe that on their
Roughly match? What does that mean? They roughly match? What, like some of them are wrong or what? I guess he means some they have spaces and some they have underscores. I don't know what he means, but you don't talk like that in court.
There may be some slight.
I'm talking
change of-
definitive stuff that can be shown to be true, right? Not loose, ambiguous terms like they roughly match. Some of them match and others they don't match.
terminology from, I believe, files found on iPhone as opposed to suitcase, videos, and still shot.
Okay, all right. State, anything else to add with regard to the digital evidence?
No, I also have.
I'd love it so much if they delivered with Sarah's discovery, they delivered the suitcase to the jail and she was in the jail, getting in the suitcase, locking herself in to see if she could get out and prove that it was possible. I mean, just imagine that, just as a visual, just visualize that for a moment. Sarah has the suitcase that George died in, delivered to the jail, gets in it, zips herself up and tries to get out. And she's got a stopwatch timer.
A copy of the thumb drive as well that Mr. Lane has had an opportunity to copy for his client that I can tender to, either tender to Mr. Lane, to tender to his client.
Is that different that we've already given him?
He had an opportunity to copy it, but this would be their copy to retain.
Okay, all right. So you can go ahead and provide that. Do you want to mark that as an exhibit for the purposes of the hearing? I guess not, since it's going to be transferred to.
Albert, the brave little toaster is not produced by Disney. Not at all. I'd bet my life on that.
Directly to Mr. Lane.
Correct.
Okay, all right. You can go ahead and give that to Mr. Lane. All right. Ma'am, or Mr. Castori, any other questions? Anything else you want to bring to my attention with regard to the digital evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am, have you had the opportunity to review the notice of expected evidence and witnesses at trial document that was just provided to the court and yourself this morning?
I did.
Okay. Do you have any questions with regard to the digital evidence, which are paragraphs 1 through 9 on the first and second pages of the notice?
I really wish this judge would stop asking Sarah if she had any questions. He should just say, "What are your questions?"
I don't know what the majority of them are. Is this part of the evidence that was supplied to me on all of the USB drives that was supplied also?
Yes, this is a pared down. All of the items referenced in our notice and provided on the USB have already been previously disclosed and given to defense.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, on the USB drives for the laptop, it's not compatible with the USB drives for some of the files. So I cannot open a majority of what are on.
That was one of my predictions, guys, if anyone remembers, that there will be corrupt files on the USB drive in her shitty piece of shit laptop that they've given her in the jail.
Both of the USB drives.
What do you mean you cannot open a majority? What can you not open?
I don't know specifically which files. I know that some of them come up as videos, some of them come up as JPEG, some of them come up as different formats. But there's an entire page of multiple icons that come up, and every time I try to open one, it won't let me review it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
What does it say?
I don't know. I moved on from that to try to go to other programs. So I don't know. I figured it would be something that I might be able to speak to Billy about when he came to see me early next week. So, but I'm just stating to the court now, that's one of the problems that I'm having with the laptop.
But you said it's a majority, but you can't identify specifics for me. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it that you're not able to look at?
It doesn't identify what they are because of the amount when I
think a majority as a term of phrase is more definitive than they roughly match.
click on a particular file. There's a file inside of a file inside of a file. So when I try to open one of the files, all these different icons come up. So if I try to click on one, it says unavailable. So I keep trying to go to the next one, the next one, and the next one, but they're all the same format, so I can't open any of those.
Okay. And how many times has that happened?
The one time
One
that
file, 10 files, 20 files? 50 files, or was it just a one time and then you moved on to something else?
I don't know how many files were in it because I didn't bother to waste my time on trying to open. I believe I tried to open about 8 or 9 of them, and then I just moved on from that folder into another folder.
And the other items in the other folder, were those accessible? Were those viewable?
For the most part, yes. I have not had a
I don't know
moment
what for the
to.
most part means.
I haven't had time yet to explore everything due to the dorm environment. So as soon as in the amount of information, the vast amount of information that he has on there, I'm trying to figure out a way where I can sit in it. I have a letter to you that I wrote to the captain, a copy for you, so you know what I'm trying to work on in order for privacy to be had. So I haven't explored both USB drives to the fullest potential that I possibly can yet. Just from the moment that I have attempted to do so, the one problem I have had was with the one folder with many icons in it. I attempted to open about 8 or 9 of them, could not, so I moved on to whatever was next.
Hey,
I could add to that everything that we have provided on this USB file, we have checked. It's all on standard formats. For instance, the public surveillance video that's referenced in our notice, we included both the original Publix files from there, and then we also had those files converted to VLC because they are easier to play in VLC. So if she clicks on that folder, she can click again on a subfolder, and she will find VLC files for where the Publix video has been converted. So everything in there should be standard JPEG, VLC, and also believe an MP4 for some audio-only files.
all right. Ma'am, do you have any other questions with regard to the digital information or digital evidence identified in the notice that the state's provided the court and yourself this morning?
That was what was just handed to Mr. Lane. So, Mr. Lane, you and I would go over that when you and I meet.
I will be meeting with you tomorrow. There is a concern that having locked.
Just a reminder to put a like on the video, guys. We're doing 2 streams tonight. We're going to be back with our normal time slot with the previous employees of the Adelson Institute testifying in Sigfredo's and Katie's trial, and also in Katie's retrial. Adelson employees, we're doing a theme night tonight at our normal time slot, which will be starting somewhere between 6:30 and 7 o'clock Eastern tonight. Be there and leave a like on this video because that's a great thing to do. You know it.
Be able to transfer this to Ms. Boone through the jail protocol.
I have a remedy for that. With regard to, well, let me finish with the digital. Any other concerns, ma'am, as to the?
So remember, this whole thing was about the quantity of the evidence, the discovery that the state has produced to prosecute Sarah. They've got to show it to her, right? Because she's representing herself and she's got to know what the state intends to introduce as evidence. She's got to know what they know and everything like that so she can adequately prepare a defense. But the quantity of the discovery was 2, are they called bankers boxes or builders boxes? I think it's builders boxes, right? Those legal boxes. 2 boxes. And the jail said, well, we can't store them. We can't store them securely. We don't have a space. We don't have a process. So the court was like, well, can you create a process to allow Sarah to view her discovery? So they said, okay, we will give her a laptop between the hours of 8 and 4 every day. We'll take it away at the end of the day and she can view it on there. Her investigator is going to bring her all of the evidence. He's going to copy it onto a digital disk drive, a USB key. And he's going to deliver it to her. And there was this whole thing about the storage. The jail's gone to all this trouble. And eventually what's going to happen is the judge says, well, just take the physical copies. Meanwhile, Mr. Lang over here has made 10 grand and another 1,000 for travel expenses when he's got to, okay, he's been to court a few times. But other than that, for the actual job, he had to drive to the copy shop and said, can you copy all this? 10 grand and another grand for travel. We're in the wrong business, Soap.
Items identified in this notice.
Until I'm able to open them and see them, no, I do not.
Sure, okay. State, anything else we need to talk about with regard to that issue?
Not in regards to that issue.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Lane, I'm going to ask that you take possession of that jump drive that was tendered to you in court this morning, and you advise the court that you're going to be.
Yeah, that's fine, Judge. That's fine, Judge. I'll take possession of the builder's boxes, no problem. There's just one thing, Judge. Now, about my fee. I think we should double it, Judge. Yeah, my fee, it's going up.
Meeting with Ms. Boone tomorrow. Is that correct? About approximately what time are you going to be meeting with her? If you know?
9 a.m.
Okay, all right.
9 a.m. Yeah, I'll be there at 9. I'll be there at 9. I'll start charging from 7 because, you know, travel. Man, there's so many jobs that are involved in the justice system, in the prison system, in probably, well, anything political at all. Anything justice or political or state. There's so many jobs out there. Consultants. What is a consultant? Well, I come in and you pay. And we talk for a bit. And when I leave, you'll feel like that you know what you're doing a little bit better. But that's just a trick. I really didn't do anything at all. I was just polite and made you feel like I knew what I was doing when really I didn't. I'm just really good at doing that. I used to be a consultant. It's easy money.
I have had the opportunity to have further conversations with Major Muhammad at the jail, including conversations regarding the physical documents. Ma'am, are you still requesting hard copies of the documents?
I am.
Okay. The jail has advised me that they've had conversations with you related to any other property or legal documents that you may need. Have you ever advised the jail that you have everything that you need and don't need anything else?
No, one of the sergeants came and spoke to me yesterday, miscommunication of some sort, where I explained to her what I'm trying to do with purging my property and the property department so I can anticipate those discovery hard copies.
Was that Tracy Hall?
No, that was Hall. Her last name is Hall.
So it was Hall, H-A-L-L, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But someone sent her to me to see me, so I just don't know who.
Hey, Ian, can I show a picture of your dog to the chat here? I just think he's so cool.
That was.
Who was it you communicated with yesterday regarding your personal effects that may have been in a property locker?
Miss Hall.
Okay, all right, thank you. Do you know Miss Hall's first name?
I don't know any of the officers.
Okay, all right. So in conversations with Major Muhammad, they are going to be able to accommodate you having your paper copies. So Mr. Lane, I know that you took custody of those and have had them. So tomorrow, when you meet Miss Boone at a...
Okay, just pausing for a second while you all go and like the video. Yeah, just wanted to show you Ian's dog. What a funny looking dog he is. Hang on. Over on the Discord server, if anyone wants to come and join us on Discord, guys, we've got a full-time community on there. We're all on there all day talking about crime and other stuff, you know. Yeah, check this guy out. His name, is it Gary, Ian? Can we get some love for Gary in the comments? Why does he look this happy? Well, he's obviously just found the True Crime Metrix YouTube channel, hit subscribe, and has now got content every day. Look at him. To everyone in the chat, you could be this happy, okay? You could be this happy if you just hit that subscribe button and have content every day. Look how happy Gary is. Ears up, listening to Metrix, logging into Discord. He can't get enough. Leave a like on the video for Gary, guys. But it's really for me. Okay, back to business. Back to business.
Approximately 9 a.m., you will meet Mr. Muhammad as well. Well, let me ask this. Are you able to go to the jail today?
I can, yes.
Okay, so I know for a fact that Major Muhammad is available today, and he may be expecting you to arrive today. If you are able
I love that we've got a Major Muhammad in this story now as well. Major Muhammad. That's great. It's great.
to provide to him the banker's boxes that were identified as A and B and that jump drive, and then provide the court with a notice as to when and what time and that to whom you gave it should be Major Muhammad, those items, so we can file it in the court file. And those will then be, the digital evidence will then be provided with the laptop in accordance with the protocol that we've gone over previously. And Major Muhammad will make sure that Ms. Boone has access to the
Kelpie Gary, the sheep are beaut, the sheep are cute, the sheep are soft and furry.
hard copies. So after conferring, well, let me ask this. State, do you have any other position with regard to the motion that was set to be heard today, the defendant's motion regarding seeking for hard copies?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so for the record then, that motion will be granted. The motion for defendant to lawfully receive, review, utilize the original hard copy discovery, 2 boxes A and B, submitted to the court by former attorneys on June 28, 2024 for preparation of trial in her criminal case. As ordered, Mr. Lane will deliver those to the jail today and seek to have them delivered to.
Yeah, that was a good one, Udi, wasn't it? Throw him way back. You see, Udi's old school in this channel, guys. That's why he's got that big wrench next to his name. What was it? Yeah, tell everybody, tell your neighbor, tell your boss, tell a colleague, tell your priest, tell your dog. Tell your dog to tell all dogs about True Crime Metrix and hit subscribe.
Major Malik Muhammad, along with the digital, the USB drive with the digital evidence. Mr. Lane, the deposition transcripts of detectives Chelsea Copsall and Scott Lowen were purportedly sent to you on August 1st. Did you receive those from Ms. Cashman?
Yes.
Okay, were they a part of the 2 USB drives that we addressed on August 5? You had the smaller one, which was everything you digitized from the 2 boxes, and then you had the larger one of other materials that you had been given previously.
No, but I do have a drive that I can put them on and make sure they get to the jail today.
Okay, if you could make sure, sir, that when you drop off the other 2 things, digital copies, I know Ms. Boone has identified that she has the physical copies, but I'd like to give her digital copies just in case. State, do you have any questions with regard to the court's directive to Mr. Lane regarding the hard copies, depositions of the detectives, or the digital evidence the state may seek to admit in trial?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Welcome to another one of our fantastic True Crime Metrix membership holders, guys. Incognito, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Ma'am, do you have any questions for Mr. Lane regarding those 3 items?
No.
Okay. Can Mr. Lane be released?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to, can he be released, ma'am?
I guess I'll see you at 9.
Okay. Sir, if you could endeavor to do that today, I would greatly appreciate it.
See how every answer she gives is non-committal somehow, or at least she thinks it is. So she could say later in her appeal, well, I didn't say he could be released. I said, I'll see you at 9. Yeah, real clever, Sarah. I don't think it's going to help you somehow. I think you're doomed. I think you've really fucked this up. But that's okay. We're fine with that. We just hope the judge survives without putting a bullet into his own brain. He's getting touchy, isn't he? He's getting like he's going to become a serious alcoholic. Every day, 2 quarts of scotch. Okay, that's the end of that video, guys. Where are we time-wise? Very short, very short. Now, I don't know if there's any more, but I did see another Sarah Boone video. Where is it? Let's have a look. But it's really long, so I don't know if we can... Well, it's longer than this. Is this the same day? So that what we watched is 25 minutes, and... Hey, look at that. If you put Sarah Boone into search results, we're 3rd on the list. Cool. I guess that's because we're live right now, though. Oh, hey, if anyone wants to join our Instagram, guys. If anyone wants to join our Instagram over here, where we post updates, where we post content coming out, if you're an Instagram head, get over to Instagram and add true crime metrics like all the best people do. You see? Look at that, guys. Interesting. Stalker. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. If you're a Twitter head, get over onto Twitter or X and follow us on there. True Crime Metrics. Facebook. Discord. Links in the description, guys. And Sarah Boone wins in motion hearing without... What is this? All right, that is the same day. Okay, so Mr. Lang is released, but this is a long video. I don't know if we can do that. We've got another stream to prepare for in just 2 hours, guys, and we've got to have Metrix supper as well. Can we do this? Let's give it a few minutes because this has been a really short stream.
Possession of that jump drive that was tendered to you in court this morning, and you advise the court that you're going to those will then digital questions about that process.
I don't.
Okay, all right, let's go ahead and call your witness. State.
State will call Gavin Lowton.
Well, just a reminder before we go ahead into the second chapter, the state is calling witness, guys, but everyone go and leave a like on the video if you would, please. That'd be fantastic. See if we can get 100% rating. If anyone wants to support the channel, you can do so by going to the description for this video and clicking the link for buymeacoffee.com. If you want to become a member to the channel and have a cool little badge next to your name in the YouTube comments, sign up for YouTube membership, guys. Channel page, join button, that's it, easy. If you want to become an even better member, buymeacoffee.com, memberships, or Patreon, where you get huge discounts to the merch, which we are later producing very soon, in a week. But, you know, why not strike while the iron is hot? Great. Super chat, super like, super thanks, super sticker, super thank you.
Please swear or affirm the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Sir, good morning. Can you state and spell your name for the record for me?
Gavin Alton, Gavin, LWTAN.
All right, thank you. State, you may proceed.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And what is it that you do for a living?
I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff.
And to what area of the sheriff's office are you assigned?
Court and security.
And how long have you worked that assignment?
4 or 5 years now.
And tell us, what are some of your
Joanne Georgiades, welcome. Another one of our fantastic members. Welcome, Joanne. See, it's the channel. Basically, we've got moderators, we've got members. It's fantastic. It's everyone's got fancy stuff next to their name, huh? Doesn't it look colorful and nice?
duties within that assignment?
I supervise the deputies in 2 felony courtrooms and 1 civil courtroom.
And are you familiar with the defendant in this particular case?
Just through research that I've done on her, I don't have any personal knowledge.
And what, in regards to that research into the defendant, what is your position as the head of security regarding her request to be free from shackles?
I do not believe she should be free of shackles.
And why is it that you have come to that conclusion?
Based on her current charge of second degree murder, she also has previous domestic arrest for battery by strangulation. She has 3 separate incidents at the jail for non-compliance, where she was told to attend her court hearings or scheduled court hearings, and she refused to do so. And then even when the corrections officers told her she could be charged with contempt of court, she still refused to attend those hearings. Those kind of, when you combine all that, To me, it shows a propensity for violence and not wanting to follow lawful commands and orders of law enforcement personnel.
So basically, she's a fucking nightmare then. You know, she's going to come in, punch the judge, turn over the prosecution's table, curse at the jury, and then try and run away. Yeah, she shouldn't be free of shackles. No. In fact, I think they're going to put a stun ankle ring on her. So if she does get up, they just zap her. Oh man, you would not want to leave that button with me. I'll be doing it all day. Zap, zap, zap. Hey, Amy, welcome to the team. Welcome to the membership team. Amy is a brand new member, guys. Welcome, Amy. Thanks for signing up. That's great. Nice badge next to your name.
What accommodations can be made in order to keep concealed the fact that she is shackled or restrained during trial?
So when the defendant is here, she would just be in leg restraints. She wouldn't have the belly chains. She wouldn't have handcuffs on. We've modified the leg restraints by wrapping tape around the chains. So even if she's to make motion or movement, it wouldn't make noise to alert the jury as to that she's got restraints on. She would be brought in and sat at the defense table prior to the jury coming in and being seated, so they wouldn't see her walk in with restraints on. And there's a panel in front of the defense table that prevents the jury from seeing that she's got leg restraints on.
Your Honor, I don't believe I have any further questions at this time.
Oh, quickly, just to answer a question about the memberships, guys. Basically, I don't know if you're viewing this on a computer or a phone or a TV, but you see on the video here, this is our video now. Is that on? Yeah. And then if you scroll under the video, there's a button that says join. And if you click the button that says join, it pops up with the different options for membership. There's supporter, loyal listener, or contributor. And you select one of those with the benefits that you want, and then you click join, and then you're a member. Okay. Where's our video? So if you're on a phone, the button might be in a different place, but look around for the join button. If you can't find it under the video, you go to the channel page, which is youtube.com/@ symbol, True Crime Metrix, and there it is. Join. First off, on your, in quotes, research that you've done on me, she does not know how to talk to people. You never start off, even if it's an aggressive conversation, don't start off your sentence with first off or first of all. It's threatening, it's hostile, it's not nice. People don't warm to it. People don't like hearing it. It sets the whole thing off on a bad foot, right? Don't do that. Oh, hang on. I didn't share the screen. Shit. Sorry. Go back a second.
That prevents the jury from seeing that she's got leg restraints on.
Your Honor, I don't believe I have any further questions at this time.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Officer Loden?
I do.
Go ahead.
First off, in your, in quotes, research that you've done on me, the domestic violence case that I was charged with, the felony with strangulation, was dropped. I don't know if you were aware of that in your research. Yes, so I was never charged with that. Also, what 3 hearings is it that I supposedly missed on what dates?
I have those here.
I've never missed
Man, microphone muted and everything. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Production values. 2 shows in one day. We gotta keep up. We've got to keep up. Do you really expect Sarah to remember when she had a hearing or where it was supposed to be held? Do you know where Sarah was? She was on the balcony drinking and smoking a couple of cigarettes, and then went inside to do puzzles and paint before playing hide and seek in a tiny house with one other player who's also a fully grown adult. Okay, that's where she was, not at the hearing. She doesn't know. She was drunk.
Mr. Court date.
Hey, Alex K. Thanks so much for the super sticker, Alex K. Really appreciate it, and we think you're great.
In the almost 5 years that I've been here, I've never argued, I've never hesitated.
Objects to the form of the question, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Ma'am, you have to ask one fact per question.
Okay.
I am prepared to give her the date.
Angel Baby. If you go to the description for the video, there's all information in there about memberships. So there's 3 memberships you could have. There's YouTube, Patreon, or buymeacoffee.com memberships, and all the links and everything are in there. So you could probably, I don't know why YouTube kind of makes it a bit difficult for people to find. People seem to have trouble with it often. It's not my fault, guys. It's the platform. But personally, I think the best memberships are the Patreon memberships, because they're all polished and nice, and we've finalized those in there. So we're looking forward to building the Patreon community. We're going to be releasing members-only content. There's discounts on the merch when that's in the shops, in the stores. And there's other benefits as well. There's fantastic benefits. Everyone should go and check out the benefits on the Patreon memberships. Link in the description.
On September 15, 2023, that was one of the times you refused to attend. October 16, 2023, and January 28, 2021.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't when she was out. She was right. I get it. Well, she was probably still drunk, drinking toilet wine, toilet hooch. You know what they do in jail? They collect all the little bits of fruit. They get maybe 1 apple per day, and they'll keep half the apple, and they'll put it in a bag, and they'll tear a slice of bread up so you've got the yeast from the bread. Put that with the apple, hide the apple bread in a bag in the toilet, and then add a bit of sugar when possible, if they can. And then you get fermented wine that will make you very sick. And it's probably more like tripping than being drunk, you know?
And do you know what those were specifically for?
For court attendance, wherever you were scheduled for that day.
For a hearing or pretrial or withdrawal?
I don't know. This is just information from the jail where the corrections officer said you refused to attend your hearings.
So is that on record that I have supposedly refused these 3 dates to appear in
At
court?
the jail, yes.
Who is your contact, please? I've never missed a date.
This is a database that I got this information from.
Do you know when it was last updated?
It's, I don't know.
Okay, so do you know how I have never missed a court date to the present date? I don't know specifically what these 3 dates are for. In order for me to have supposedly denied going. Do you know the name of the officers for each one? You do?
Yes.
Please.
For the September 15, 2023, it is Corrections Officer Portia Hines,
Could you spell her last name, please?
Hines.
And you said the date was 9/15/23?
Correct.
Okay.
And if you would like, I can read her comments in her report.
Sure.
At approximately midnight, I informed inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was scheduled to appear in court today. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I advised her that her absence could result in being held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone stated she understood and continued in her decision to refuse. Corporal L. Cameron was notified. This report is being generated for informational purposes.
But it doesn't say what it was that I supposedly refused.
to attend court. It doesn't say specifically what your hearing is for.
Okay,
Second one, it'll be
Hey, if you're still in the video, guys, and having a good time watching Sarah Boone make an absolute fool out of herself in front of this witness from the jail here, hit the like button. Hit the like button right now. Like the video, share, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and come back for more, because we'll be on in just a couple of hours with all of the testimonies from the Adelson Institute employees. Erica, that older lady that was Harvey Adelson's assistant since 1979. Guys, what the hell?
Officer Christy Green.
and what is this date for?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Which date is it that you're referencing?
That's going to be October 16, 2023.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the name?
Green, Greene.
And what was the first initial, please?
K.
Greene,
Yes.
10/16/23.
Yes.
Okay,
And the third one is January 28, 2021. And the officer is Jasmine Scribner. Scribner.
what are the comments, please, for Green?
At approximately 0300 hours, I advised inmate Boone, Sarah, that she was on schedule to attend downtown court. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed inmate.
Yeah, the hangover would be rough, KLK, on a toilet wine. And, you know, Sarah, okay, she's been a chronic alcoholic for 10 solid years, and probably a bit before that, before it really became like noticeable as a problem, right? People spend a good few years being an alcoholic where they're completely functional. Sarah spent 10 years not functional, and that's a lot, and it hits women harder than men. But even so, she was only 42 when she went in. You'd expect her skin to have cleared up. You'd expect her to have lost a bit of weight. She's put a lot on. And I know that when people go to jail, the food's shit and the movement is limited and all the rest of it. So it's not exactly a health club, okay? But she looks like she's still a drunkard, you know, really, really boozing it up. And it would not surprise me at all to learn that she'd been making toilet wine in the jail, you know? And what, not only the hangover, Amy, but KLK, but what it does to your immune system, to your metabolism, that kind of, it's poison, essentially. That's what it is. It's literally like you're taking some poison. Fermented apple core with white sliced bread and a bit of freaking donut sugar fermented in a toilet. That's what it's come down to, guys.
Boone that if she fails to attend, she could be held in contempt of court. Inmate Boone acknowledged she understood and continued with the decision to refuse to attend court. Corporal Ward in the Booking and Release Center, transport officer, was notified. All proper notations were made in the IMS.
Okay. And January 28th?
Approximately 0334 hours, inmate Boone, Sarah, was advised she has downtown court and to start getting ready. Inmate Boone stated she did not want to attend court. I informed inmate Boone that she could be charged with contempt of court. Inmate Boone still refused to attend court. Corporal Hall and the Booking and Release Center transportation officer were notified of this incident. This report is being generated for informational purposes only.
And all of those comments were made on the day of that I supposedly refused.
I don't know when they entered that.
It doesn't state in their IMS, in their program?
It might, but I didn't take that information down.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I know all three corporals and the sergeant, so I've never refused court. There's no reason for me to want to refuse court.
I'm gonna object this to ask and answer.
Hey, Veggie Girl, another member, guys. I feel like we've got loads of members into the stream tonight. We're going to be back in a couple of hours with some more Adelson content, guys.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
So the domestic violence, the original was dropped. I was never charged with that.
Object as to relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled. You can answer the question, sir.
Okay. It was dropped. You were charged and arrested. I don't know why the state dropped it. It could be because both parties, based on the report that I read, did not want to cooperate. So they probably didn't have information to go forward with the charges. That does not mean that you didn't commit the act. It just meant the state felt that they didn't have a case that they could win.
What is your definition of probably did not cooperate? Was it a fact or you're just guessing?
Your
It
Honor,
said,
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the question.
Objection sustained.
Both of the charges were dropped for Mr. Torres and for myself was because we did cooperate and there was not enough information. And we received documentation in the mail, both of us, for the reasons why it was dropped.
Your Honor, I'm going to object this to the form of the question. It's not a question, it's a statement.
Sustained.
Forgive me, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to provide my information for what it is that I'm being accused of. I don't know if I'm doing it the wrong way, apparently, so I don't know I don't know the protocol for this. I'm just trying to answer my accusations.
I understand your position. I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot provide you any legal advice.
Okay, I'm just stating to the court that I'm doing my best with being uneducated in this situation. That is for the non-compliance, I need to speak to the corporals and the sergeant in order for that to be remedied. And then what about, do you need the documentation for the domestic charge that I was not charged with and it was dropped cooperatively?
I do know that the charges were dropped. I'm just saying that isn't your history.
I understand, but I was never charged with it, correct?
You were charged with it. It was dropped.
Welcome, Jen Kestrel. Are you a falconer, Jen Kestrel?
The charges were dropped.
But it is not on my record.
The arrest is on your record.
But the charge for the domestic violence is not on my record.
No, you were never
Object is
convicted.
to ask and answer, Your Honor.
Overruled.
You were never convicted of the domestic battery charge, but you were charged with it.
And the case was dropped.
Yes.
For the three supposed non-compliance that I have, I know that 2 of the officers are no longer with the Department of Corrections, Orange County Corrections Department. So I will need to speak to their supervisors in order for me to have, I guess, this remedy. Is it
Your
a,
Honor, I'm going to object to the form of the question. This is a statement, not a question.
Objection is sustained.
I guess I will provide information to you for the non-compliance occurrences that I'm being charged with.
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object as to, that's not a question, it's a statement.
The objection is sustained.
I know this is a lame question, but what does sustained mean?
That means
What does sustained mean, guys? What does sustained mean? Are we thinking that the court's really going to let her represent herself? It's going to be amazing to watch. I don't, at least Daryl Brooks tried to look like he knew what he was doing. Is that subject matter jurisdiction? What about subject matter jurisdiction, Your Honor? Can I represent myself pro per? Oh, man. And then someone like Trevor Summers, actually, I think he missed his calling. Apart from when he was questioning his ex-wife, I think he did pretty well. He really showed that he understood the procedures of court and everything. Yeah, shame he's such a dick. We will be covering the Trevor Summers case, guys, soon. I don't think there's much awareness about that. Don't go and look into it. I'll tell you all about it. We're going to wrap this witness up, guys, and then we're going to take a break for some Metrix supper, and then we'll be back in a couple of hours. Just let this witness wrap up, and I'll probably do part 2 of this video tomorrow morning. See if we can get some subscribers in India and Dubai and Istanbul.
Means the state's legal basis for you asking that question is correct, and the court will not permit you to ask that question
Thank you.
in the way that it may be asked.
What do I need to provide to you in order to have that remedied, in order for me to be unhandcuffed?
Your Honor, again, I'm going to object as to the form of the question.
Overruled.
Whoa! 1 point, Sarah. Chicken cacciatore -1 point. Overruled to the state. Next question out of Sarah's mouth. What does overruled mean? What is sustain?
Whatever documentation, but I believe that the decision as to whether or not you'll be in restraints will be made today.
I understand, but it can be made.
What's that?
The decision in order to be unhandcuffed.
Correct. I suppose if you have documentation to say that this was all fabricated, then I wouldn't be able to use this.
Correct, as you telling me about the domestic violence. That cannot be used against me either.
It is still part of your history. I can bring it up.
Right, but just to clarify and conclude, I was not ever charged with that.
Again, I'm going to object as to ask and answer.
Sustained.
Okay, I will, do I provide this information to you?
You can.
Hey, Angel Baby, you made it. Well done, girl. Yeah, welcome to the membership team, guys. Memberships all round. Took you a while, but we're glad you're here.
Provide it to the state.
Okay. Am I, in your opinion, a flight risk or detrimental to the courtroom and am a threat of any type of harm?
Based on what I've researched, I don't know you personally, but based on my research, I don't think it would be appropriate for you not to be in restraint.
And then what was the year, please, for the charge that was dropped with the domestic violence?
It was 2018.
2018?
Correct.
And it is now 2024. Okay. And you're going solely off of what, the arrest affidavit? What is it that you're using to conclude due to this occurrence that was dropped that I would not be able to be unrestrained?
Correct. Your arrest history, the information I read, all the research that I've done, that's where I'm basing my conclusion on.
But what specifically from that 2018 charge?
The fact that you were charged with battery via strangulation, which is a violent act, is one of the reasons why I've said that I do not.
Yeah, Jen Kestrel says Sarah was being kinky. It actually would have been a pretty good defense to say, listen, this is what we do before sex, okay? He gets in the bag and I act like I'm the luggage attendant at the airport, putting him on the conveyor belt, okay? The conveyor belt of love. And this is how we prepare for our sexy time, okay? And it was an accident, but we do this all the time. It was completely in keeping with our normal behavior and routine. So there was no reason for me to think that it could go wrong. That would have actually been enough to create reasonable doubt. And the state would probably have not even pursued it because they know that it would have been enough to create reasonable doubt. But no. That would be too easy for Sarah, right? What does she do? The cops are asking her, and is this a normal thing that you do when you play hide and seek? Put him in a bag? And she's like, no, why would I do that? I would never do that. Bad move.
I believe it's appropriate for you not to be in restraints.
But it was never proven, correct? Because it was dropped?
It was dropped, doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Okay. I'll be working on the others with the corporals and the sergeant for the supposed non-compliance. Thank you for the dates and the information.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
Do I need to supply anything for the 2018 domestic violence occurrence that you are referencing and applying?
It's already been dropped. I'm just telling you what the history is. So,
And you can still apply it even though it's not been,
right, it's in your history.
okay. Thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
Any follow-ups, Dave?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Anything else, Dave?
Not from the state.
Okay. I see Deputy Barnett here. Did you come up, sir?
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you should give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Sir, good afternoon, or good morning, rather. Can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for me?
My name is Chad Barnett.
And not your date of birth, sorry. Could you spell your name for the record?
CHADBARNETT.
And what are your duties and responsibilities here at the Orange County Courthouse?
I'm a deputy sheriff at the Orange County Courthouse. I work in courtrooms, I supervise squads, and I'm also in charge of training inside the courthouse.
Okay, I think we're going to cut it off at this witness. That seems like a good stopping point. We've still got, what, 35 minutes, 36 minutes to go on this video. So yeah, I'll probably do a short part 2 on this early in the morning when all you guys are in your beddy bars, still asleep. But that's okay because you can catch it on the replay, and we'll experiment. I want to see what happens if we start a stream at 7 a.m. Portuguese time. Who's going to come online? Well, maybe the other half of the world. Need to get some more maps for our True Crime Metrix map collection. Okay, so plan is, guys, we will be back at 7:30 Eastern. Okay, that's in 2 hours from now. We're going to have some Metrix supper. We're going to have, what are we having tonight, Soap? Well, we'll see. We'll find something. Okay, many thanks to all the brand new, beautiful Metrix members in the chat, guys. And the support and the comments and everyone, you were great. And Sarah, what the fuck are you doing? We'll catch you up with part 2 tomorrow. Okay, see you in a couple of hours, guys. Be there.